Back to you, Jyoti.
Absolutely. Hold on right there. We're getting breaking news coming. We'll have to cut straight across to it. The breaking news is about Prime Minister's security case hearing that has begun in Supreme Court. Punjab government in Supreme Court alleges politics behind the case. Punjab government in Supreme Court says, and I quote, all documents have been submitted to the High Court. So the hearing has begun. We'll keep you updated in terms of what transpires in this particular hearing. This Supreme Court hearing has begun. The Punjab government has made an allegation saying that there is politics behind this particular case. SC hears a plea that is seeking judicial probe into this particular incident. Nalini now joins us. Nalini, the hearing has just about begun. Just if you could tell us a little more about the opening arguments that you're picking up. All right, let's re-establish that connection right there to Nalini or Anisha, whoever's available at the moment. Our legal eagles tracking this in much detail. They're getting you updates from inside the court. Nalini is with us now. Nalini, the hearing and the arguments from both sides have just begun. If you could give us a bit of a curtain raiser in terms of how the first few minutes have progressed.
Well, yes, Jyoti, you're right to point out that the arguments have just begun before the Supreme Court. And essentially, so far, what the counsel for the Punjab government, which is the Advocate General, who is appearing on behalf of Punjab government, has told the Supreme Court is that he is not hopeful of an unbiased or fair inquiry by the central government in this matter, which is essentially why, if the Supreme Court stepped in, it's important for the Supreme Court to ensure that whatever inquiry or investigation goes on in a completely unbiased manner with no political inclination. So what the Advocate General who is appearing before the Supreme Court has said is that there is not any likelihood that it's going to be an unbiased inquiry when it comes to the central government conducting the inquiry, which is essentially why they've also said that they would like the Supreme Court to take over this matter. At the same time, the CBI said that they've got some compliance report from the High Court this morning regarding the travel records as well as the communication records that they'd asked the Registrar General of the High Court to arrange during the last hearing. And at the same time, Senior Advocate Maninder Singh, who in the first place asked for this entire matter to be taken up by the Supreme Court at the earliest, has said that in case the Supreme Court wants some time to go through these travel records as well as the communication records, then the matter can also be heard tomorrow. The hearing is still underway before the Supreme Court. We can expect some observations coming in from the bench today, and we'll keep you updated as and when the hearing happens.
Coming back to you for the updated report as well, but just for our viewers, you have already mentioned that the hearing has begun, so it's just begun, so we are waiting for more information that is coming in, Nalini. But give us a little bit of a background as far as this case is concerned, the petition is concerned, the submissions that have been made by all the parties is concerned.
Well, Jyoti, the main trial in the matter has been filed by an organization
Establish that connection to Nalini, please. Nalini will be joining us in just about a bit for the latest on this story. We have the latest coming in, the security case, the Prime Minister's security breach case hearing has begun in the Supreme Court. The Apex Court is hearing this matter as we speak. Punjab government in Supreme Court has alleged politics behind this case. And Punjab government in Supreme Court has said that all documents have been given to High Court. Nalini, back with us. Nalini, you got cut off earlier. Over to you.
Yes, Jyoti, like I was saying, so this PIL was initially filed by this organization called Lawyers Voice, and what they were asking for is for the Supreme Court to immediately look into this issue and for a court-monitored inquiry. Now, this is falling exactly in line with what the Punjab government is also now saying, that there should be a court-monitored inquiry in this entire matter. The last time around when the hearing had happened before the Supreme Court had categorically asked both the central government and the state government to halt any inquiry that they were conducting on this entire issue, saying that the Supreme Court is going to take up the matter further once the communication and the travel records have been received by the Supreme Court. Now, the CJI-led bench during the last time around had made it very clear that these communication records and travel records of the Prime Minister in Bathinda regarding this entire situation will provide a very crucial chain of events of exactly what happened and what led to the security lapse. So the moment immediately immediately before the security lapse, exactly what went on. Was it a last minute plan for the PM to change from traveling by air to traveling by road? All of these things will become clear once these communication documents as well as the travel records are looked into by the Supreme Court bench. That is essentially why they had asked for the Punjab and Haryana High Court registrar to make sure that all of these records were secured in the very first place and handed over to the Supreme Court. Now that that's been done is when the second stage of this hearing happens. Now the Supreme Court is going to decide exactly as to whether or not they will initiate an inquiry or an investigation into this matter. The last time around, the CJI had said one very important thing, that irrespective of whether an inquiry is set up or not, these lapses in PM security are something that should be taken with utmost seriousness, and this is not something that should be allowed to happen. Along with that, the Solicitor General had also stressed upon on behalf of the central government that there needs to be a message that needs to be sent out to the international community that we do not take our PM security lightly. And this is also possibly something that could have implications of cross-border terrorism. So you saw that the last time around we've seen some very strong arguments coming in from the centre, the Punjab government, as well as the petitioners, along with the kind of observations made by the bench. Is that something that we can expect today? Something that we'll know only by the end of the day once the hearing is over. The hearing is not expected to last very long because the bench has still not had the opportunity to go through these communication and travel records in detail because they received it only today morning from the Punjab and Haryana High Court. So it is likely that it's going to get, at the end of the day, adjourned for another day when the Supreme Court can go through these records and bring forth their observations on it. But at the same time, the hearing is currently underway. The Punjab government has made it clear that they do not expect an unbiased inquiry on behalf of the central government, which is exactly why they've asked the Supreme Court to step in and ensure that there's a court-monitored inquiry taking place in this one.
All right, Nalini bringing us latest details coming in from the court. The Punjab government wants a court-monitored probe into this incident. Nalini, and largely the Punjab government wants a court-monitored probe is also because of the kind of politicking that is going on in the back of this case.
Well, yes, absolutely, Shetty, and that's exactly what the Solicitor General is now also saying before the Supreme Court. So the reason why the Punjab government in the first place has said that they do not expect the inquiry by the central government to be fair is on the basis of a show cause notice that was issued to them asking them to bring forth certain records by the central government. But the Solicitor General now is clearly saying that this show cause notice that was issued was a separate thing and the notice is not issued by the inquiry committee. He's also gone ahead and said that proximate security arrangements have to be there, and he is now relying on certain provisions of the SPG Act to go forth and validate all of these arguments that he is making. Essentially, what he is trying to do is that on the basis of the SPG Act, trying to ensure that the accountability in this case lied with the police department, and it was the state police's responsibility to ensure that the Prime Minister was allowed a safe passage through the state. But because the state police failed to do their duty, is exactly why there was a security lapse in the very first place. So the buck is being passed from the SPG to the state police by both the parties. But what is the Supreme Court going to agree with is the main question that we have to wait and watch out for.
All right, and since the arguments have just begun, are you getting more updates coming in from the Apex Court at the moment in terms of what has been the progress?
Well, yes, Chetty, the Chief Justice of India-led bench has asked for some clarifications regarding this show cause notice that was issued by the central government to the Punjab government, and they've asked exactly on what basis was this issued and what was the contents of it. They've also asked the Solicitor General to clarify as to whether or not this show cause notice was issued after or before the Supreme Court had given its orders last time. Because like you remember, I just said that the last time around the Supreme Court had categorically halted any inquiry by the central or the state government in this case. So they would like to know as to whether or not this show cause notice that was issued by the central government was done before or after that order. Because in case it was done after that order and pertains to an inquiry, then it is going against the orders of the Supreme Court. What the Solicitor General has said is that the Advocate General is relying on the notice issued by the DGP and the CS, which is exactly what I was pointing out. And he's also said that the notice was issued prior to the Supreme Court orders the last time around. So the Punjab government in this entire matter is making some presumptions. So of course the Solicitor General on behalf of the central government is trying to ensure that he gives all the details from his side when it comes to what the central government's role in this entire matter was. They are also asking for a court monitored inquiry. So that is one thing that the petitioners, the Punjab government as well as the central government are both on the same page of when it comes to before the Supreme Court. But as to whether or not the Supreme Court is agreeable to that is something that we'll know only towards the end of the hearing. Another thing that the Solicitor General has told before the Supreme Court is that this show cause notice that was issued was not a part of the inquiry and that was done before this matter had come up before the Supreme Court the last time around. So this is not a part of the investigation that is being conducted by the central government and has no impact on it. So it remains to be seen exactly what the Chief Justice of India says at the end of this to this entire issue. But for now, both the Advocate General of Punjab as well as the Solicitor General on behalf of the central government are putting forth their arguments before the Supreme Court, trying to prove a point and also trying to ensure that an inquiry in this entire matter is initiated.
Yes, absolutely. And if you could also tell us who all comprise the bench along with Chief Justice N.V. Ramana?
Well, Chief Justice N.V. Ramana is, of course, heading the bench, but along with him, it is also Justice Hema Kohli as well as Justice Suryakant, the two judges who most often sit with him during any court proceedings, who are part of this bench, who are hearing this matter. It's a three-judge bench, and currently we have the Solicitor General of India, Tushar Mehta, making arguments on behalf of the central government before this three-judge bench. What Tushar Mehta is essentially saying is that there were lacunas that are not in dispute during this entire procedure that had happened and when the PM had visited Punjab. He's also gone ahead and said that it is an admitted fact that there was a violation of security. The blue book that he is relying on, which is the blue book on the VVIP SPG security, he says that the local or the state police shall make all security arrangements while SPG take care of the proximate security. I beg your pardon. Implementation of rules will also be the responsibility of the DGP. So, Cherry, like I was saying just a little bit earlier, what the Solicitor General is trying to say is that it was the responsibility of the state police and the state government to ensure that the PM is allowed a safe passage through the state. And in case there were any lapses in that, then the accountability also directly falls on the state. But at the same time, the state police have said in the last hearing, today they've not had the chance to make their detailed arguments yet, but in the last hearing, the state police, through the Advocate General, had said that it was a last-minute plan for the PM to change his travel plans because initially he was planning to travel by air, but at the last minute, because of the weather conditions, it had to change to travel by road. And the second thing that Advocate General has said is that those protesters who were present on that road or on that highway were not present because of the PM. They were actually there to stop some BJP workers from going to the PM's rally and not to stop the PM himself. Along with that, they were also at least 1 kilometer away from where the PM was. He'd stopped 1 kilometer before. So there was no real security threat that was made to his life on that particular day. Yes, there were some sort of problems and there were some changes in plans, but at the same time, there was no real threat to his life, is what the Punjab government is trying to say. They will, during the course of the day, make their arguments in more detail later on. It is also likely to be based on the communication and the travel records that have been submitted by the Punjab and Haryana High Court to the Supreme Court now to show the chain of events that occurred immediately before this lapse in security had happened with the PM. But as to, like I said, as to whether or not the Supreme Court will be agreeable to that is something that we have to wait and watch on.
All right, so we'll have to wait and watch on that. And as far as the Blue Book is concerned, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta continues to refer to this particular Blue Book. And for the uninitiated, the ones who do not know about this Blue Book, please, Nalini, if you could take a moment to explain to them what the Blue Book means and what does the Blue Book read in terms of how it would be incumbent perhaps on the police officers of the state government, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the rules are strictly implemented.
Well, Cherry, essentially this Blue Book deals with the kind of rules that need to be followed when it comes to the security aspect of any SVG protection or VVI. So it lays down the details of whose responsibility is going to be and the procedure that needs to be followed when it comes to security measures taken for SVG protection. And it is that Blue Book that Tushar Mehta is relying on, where he says that it was the responsibility of the state or the local police to ensure that all security arrangements were made when the SPG while the SPG takes care of the proximate security. So he is making that wide distinction that while the SPG is in charge of the proximate area of where the PM is present at that moment and ensuring that nothing happens to him in that proximate area, but at the same time, the state police and the state governments are the ones who are responsible to provide a larger security aspect, at least while the PM is present in the state. So in this case, the responsibility, according to the Solicitor General, lies directly with the Punjab police because of the failure of whom the PM was halted on that highway for at least 15 to 20 minutes and not allowed a safe passage because of those protesters. But as to whether or not it was the police who played a role in providing information about the PM's cavalcade to the protesters is a completely different issue that is likely to be argued at a later point. As of now, Solicitor General is focusing on the lapses that were made on behalf of the Punjab police in not ensuring a safe passage for the PM. And at the same time, what the Punjab government so far has stated before the Supreme Court, they are likely to speak more later, is that they don't expect a fair and an unbiased inquiry on behalf of the central government, and they requested the Supreme Court to initiate a court-monitored probe in this matter.
All right, Nalini.